Hey everybody, this is Brad at Pisces Pet Emporium. Today we're going to be doing another species highlight, and today we're going to be doing the Flowerhorn cichlid.
Welcome to Pisces, we sell animals.
These guys are a fun and interesting little fish here at Pisces. These guys are actually going to be a man-made hybrid, usually made up of the red devil cichlid, that's going to be Texas cichlids, red terror cichlids, Trimax cichlids, and Vieja cichlids. These guys are all going to be completely man-made, as you will never see these guys in the wild, but that does not stop them from being an excellent little fish. These guys are going to like a temperature of about 80 to 85 and a pH of about 7.4, no higher than about 7.8. These guys also do require quite a large tank. Usually recommend about a 40-gallon to start off with as a baby, and then upgrading to about a 75-gallon or a 4x2x2 120-gallon as an adult. These guys like as much space as you'll offer them, so the more space, the better. For a breeding pair, I would recommend no less than a 150-gallon aquarium for these guys. This guy right here is a 110-gallon tall, and this is one of the more ideal tanks that you can get. Now, the other thing about these guys is, unlike Little Richard here, they actually don't really like tank mates all that much. So what I usually recommend is a species-only tank. Some well-known tank mates are going to be male and females growing up together. Bichers, things like the Senegal and the Ornate if you have the tank size for it. As well as you can usually do larger catfish, but everything's hit or miss with a Flowerhorn. I always like to say you have a nice Flowerhorn until you don't. That being said, Little Richard has been doing really good with all of these little tank mates in here. So for the most part, try it out and see if it works. If it doesn't, remove his tank mates. For diet, these guys are going to be omnivorous, usually eating a mixture of absolutely anything and everything you throw in this tank. But that does not mean you should feed them absolutely anything and everything. What I usually recommend is going to be mostly a pellet-based diet for these guys. I really like the Hikari Blood Parrot, the Hikari Vita Bites, and I really like the Hikari Cichlid Staple. These guys will do really well on a Hikari diet their whole life. That being said, some frozen supplements that you can give them are going to be beef hearts, bloodworms, and the odd krill feeding. These guys will just continually eat and eat and eat and eat like the dumpsters they are, so don't really overfeed them. They can actually pass away from being overfed. So these guys right here are going to be a fun little fish to have at home. They are very active. They'll follow your finger, as you guys can see. And for the most part, they're one of my personal favorite cichlids. These are a South American cichlid, so I usually don't recommend adding them in with African cichlids as well. It's more so the water parameters don't match up, as well as these guys can be highly aggressive, like I mentioned beforehand. Usually cichlids can go with cichlids, but with these guys, I recommend mostly just a South American or large predator tank. If there's any other questions, why don't you come on down and speak to one of our fish specialists here at Pisces Pet Emporium.